We've got some difficult days ahead. We've got some difficult days ahead. We've got some difficult days ahead. We've got some difficult days ahead.
Every country will set up a crisis committee which will determine, what vaccine centres are established, what groups are going to be targeted for vaccination, and so on.
Well, it's one of several plans. We can't know until they're implemented, but I assure you that those plans are in place and law enforcement is going to be pulled in. In one of the articles I wrote, I said the law enforcement community will enforce the New World Order.
And this is the World Health Organization, the UN, and the people who back that, the banking cartel and family dynasty, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, who is pushing with tremendous determination this unwanted, unnecessary and dangerous program on us. And it's coming in just a few weeks.
Now this is one of several plans. It has not yet seen the light of day, but it is there. It's in readiness. You choose the poison. It's either slow homicide or slow suicide. They're either going to kill you with the injection, or if you go up and say, sure, I just want to be able to go wherever I want to go, and you take it, to me that's virtual suicide. Just slow motion suicide. So we've all talked about not getting the vaccination, that's clear, but you may not have a choice. I am told that the plans include buses that will be standing by for people at roadblocks that refuse to take the inoculation. The people will then be escorted to the buses and taken, as I was told in the state I was in at that time when I was speaking to the troopers, you're going to get a free ride to a nice warm bunk at Fort Riley.
Health regulations of 2005, which give WHO, the World Health Organization based in Geneva, the power to control how governments respond to this pandemic, which WHO has itself declared. And every country has a more or less identical pandemic plan, which hands power over to the World Health Organization, which allows the World Health Organization to take over the police and the health forces.
Now, having said that, there are also plans that will ensure that you do not freely travel, nor will you be able to really go anywhere without proof that you have had the vaccination at the point that the government mandates that certain levels of the population take the inoculation. When that happens, I have been told by state troopers across the country that there are plans ready to be implemented that would include roadblocks and choke points, as we call them, major interstate junctions around major cities and so forth, where the greatest number of people can be held until they either prove their vaccination. Unfortunately, I believe one among several plans to ensure that the government's edict of mandated vaccinations, and by the way, the state of Oklahoma last week passed through its House just such a law for the state of Oklahoma and its residents that everyone will be vaccinated in the state of Oklahoma.
And this is what I assume is happening in every country. They're going to set up vaccine centres that are outside hospitals and GPs. Some of these are going to be secure. People are going to be told to go there first of their own free will, and then they're going to receive calls, whatever, telling them to appear at a certain time. And those people who do not come are going to eventually be collected and forced to go there.
Here is a situation these National Guardsmen and police hope they never have to deal with. But there is the possibility, since Oxford Hills High School is a dispensing point for the vaccination.
They are setting up clinics in churches and schools and hospitals. They are setting up clinics in churches and schools and hospitals. You guys know what that means? You guys know what that means? You guys know what that means?
It will become mandatory within the next 2 weeks. October 15th is the deadline. October 15th is the deadline. And so the authorities want it made clear that anyone who does not comply with the new regulations pertaining to the identification before October 15th deadline will pay a severe penalty. The identification is no longer optional.
On top is a chip. That chip will include all kinds of information about you and the fact that you have been
optional.
It can only be assumed by the Imperium that those in civilized centers of the world who refuse to be identified are working against the goals and purposes of the Imperium. Perhaps even in cooperation with the forces which brought about the emergency. It has therefore been declared by our leaders that in the interest of world safety, all people who do not bear the mark of Unite are subject to arrest and prolonged inconvenience. All people who do not bear the mark of Unite are subject to arrest and prolonged inconvenience.
Okay, listen. I'm going to tell you something I'm not supposed to talk about. Nobody is. But
what?
But they took a lot of people away. People that they thought were going to make trouble for them. People that they thought were going to make trouble for them. People that had guns. People that had guns.
Well, in accordance to martial law, I'm going to collect firearms and to check for any excess food.
The things they wanted, they just took them away.
Where?
Re-education camps, that's what they call it. Re-education camps, that's what they call it.
A military curfew is now in effect. Return to your homes immediately. Anyone found on the streets after 1900 hours or 7 o'clock p.m. will be arrested and confined. Return to your homes. You will be safe there. Return to your homes immediately.
He was going for this.
Days ahead.
Civil unrest is coming, man. Race wars are coming, man. The feminists coming, man. The only one to get you out of this is our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Get that through your head. He's the only one that's going to get you out of this.